to your love reading for the month of October, and of course, any other time that you're guided to watch, as the intention of my messages is always to be timeless. This reading is for all Aries placements, but if for some reason if this reading doesn't resonate for you, please don't forget to check out your other placements. And also keep in mind that this is a general reading, so not everything may resonate, so please only take what does and leave what doesn't. And also for love readings, if you are guided to cross watch, you're more than welcome to. And before we get into this reading, I'd also like to mention that if you ever want to get a reading with me, all of my information is in the description box below. You can book a reading straight through my Etsy shop. But without further ado, let's get started here. So today we're going to be tapping into the energy of you and the person you're currently connected with. I'm going to put your energy on the right and theirs on the left. However, feel free to reverse the roles if you feel that the energy is switched. You can also resonate with both sides. That happens as well. So keep it up in mind because you can fall anywhere there. I'm going to start first by pulling from the Twin Flame Journey Oracle just to see what's going on between you and your person energetically, whatever we need to know so that we can understand them in this time frame. So let's start with, I'm just going to pull and then I'll see where I feel it goes. Okay, one's already trying to come out. We have mirroring. That's going to be in the union. Fear. The answer is no. Conclusion. Free will. Metamorphosis. That's the union. Purge. Mask. Balancing the scales. Signs. And unawakened. I was only going to pull 5 for each, but now we have 6 because this fell out, and I know this is them. It's not you. So maybe you wearing a mask also, which is fine. Okay, yeah. Bottom of the deck is spring, so there could be a significance of the season spring for this connection, whether something really profound happened during that time, or it's one of your birthdays, or there's just some heavy resonance with spring season, or something important may happen in the upcoming spring season. With spring, I also feel the energy of, it's when the flowers blossom, nature looks really beautiful. So I do feel like this connection brings out the best in you guys, even if it means having to go through the sort of purging and the shadow work that is necessary in order to bring about that metamorphosis. And I know we do have metamorphosis on the table here. So I do feel with the spring that there is a lot of shedding of the skin, like in the winter season where it's just dry and cold and cracked and there's really no harvest. And it all dies, right? It all withers and dies so that it can come and blossom again in the spring. So I do feel that energy with this connection that you're gonna have to, like, a part of you and this person will die in order for a better version to bloom. So I think this connection can bring out the worst and the best in you guys because it's supposed to do that. It brings out the worst in you so that you can really reflect on what it is that you need to do. And I'm so sorry, I think there's a leaf blower in the background. I hope you guys can't hear it. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to close my window. I think they're just passing through. Okay, so they weren't passing through. I had to get up and close the window. But I'm trying to get back to where I was. I lost my train of thought. Okay, I was talking about spring. I think I was done with that point. So basically, a part of you is dying. Parts of both of you are dying so that a new version can emerge. The better version, of course. Okay. And then we have mirroring as the union and as well as fifth dimension. So what's funny in the beginning of the reading when I said that if you resonate with both sides, that's fine, that usually happens. But what I didn't mention is that the reason you resonate with both sides sometimes it's because you are mirroring each other. And I never really mentioned that. I don't really mention, like, if you guys watch my readings, I never mention the mirroring part, but something told me to say that today. So it's funny that the first card that came out was mirroring. So yeah, you guys are definitely mirroring each other and are connected in a higher dimension or connected in the 5D as well. So there could be a lot of intensity with that, a lot of push and pull, a lot of, dynamics that make the both of you get triggered by each other. That happens with these 5D connections. And people don't realize that sometimes. People think 5D connections are rainbows and sunshine, but it's not. It really brings out the worst in you sometimes so that you can heal and process from what we're running away from, right? So I feel like this connection is that for you guys. It is a very much a spiritual lesson, spiritual awakening, and whatever you do to this person that hurts you and vice versa, it just comes back. It's like what you see is what you get. Whatever goes around comes around is what happens with this. But with this feed 5D, you guys are energetically connected, so you do feel them without even being next to them. And like I said, that might drive you crazy though, because you're so energetically attached to them or attracted to them or just connected to them that it's hard to let go of them. It's hard to not think of them. They are constantly on your mind, and you are on their mind as well. So whatever you're feeling, they're feeling. Okay. So their energy is fear. The answer is no. Purge, unawakened, and free will. This has unawakened masculine written all over it, regardless of gender. Okay, so it could be that this person recently rejected you or they're going to reject you with this answer is no because they're living in fear, they're scared. Having to face their 5D counterpart means having to face themselves, having to face their worst fears, and they don't like that. They run away from that. So with free will, I do feel like they're going to take matters into their own hands and decide what they think is best for themselves, which may not be what's best for themselves, right? Especially if they are on a different timeline, they're unawakened, they have a lot of purging that is needing to be happened for them, but I feel like they're ignoring their calling right now. They're ignoring their soul's calling. When they ignore you, they ignore themselves. Okay, so I do feel like right now they're not in a place and a vibration to receive or accept the love that you may be putting out there for them. So don't take it personally when that happens because it has nothing to do with you. Okay, this is simply their own struggles that they have to deal with and face with and find their own path, find their own light because you can't show them the way. You can definitely inspire them, at least give them a little bit of guidance, but you can't do it for them. They have to do it for themselves. But they do have a lot of purging that is required in order to start living in their truth. But right now, I feel a lot of resistance, I feel a lot of blockages, and they're not ready. They're just not ready. That's why it's saying the answer is no. It's not the time right now. All right, that's them. Let's see you. For you, we have balancing the scales, metamorphosis, signs, mask, and conclusion. So what you're going to do, having known now that they're not going to accept their offer or, give an offer, they're not going to have anything, or not anything, but they're not going to have much to offer right now because of the vibration they're in. So I feel like you're finally going to be understanding of that. You're going to have compassion for them because of that. And you're going to be okay with letting them go and stepping into your true power and finding your soul's purpose because you know what's right. With balancing the scales, you're going to know that it's time to put an end to it and to start focusing on yourself. It may have taken a while, especially because of that strong 5D connection, but now you know that what's best for both of you really is to go your separate ways, and that'll bring balance to the connection. Because if you were giving more to this connection, compared to them, then there was an imbalance there. So now you're balancing the scales by putting a boundary and turning your back on this, essentially. And that's how you know things are going to be right. You're going to make things right that way. Then we have conclusion. So yeah, you're closing the door in this chapter. You're finishing this cycle because you know it's over, right? You know it's over. You've been feeling it for a while, but maybe you were choosing to ignore it. But now that you're getting the signs over and over again, you've been seeing a lot of synchronicities, a lot of coincidences. They're not coincidences. They're definitely messages from your angels telling you that this is over and to start focusing on yourself. So with the conclusion, you know that you can close this chapter, lock it up, and just put it behind you. And then, like I said, with the signs, you have been getting a lot of signs about yourself, most importantly, right? To focus on you, to do you. And I know you're probably not coming into a love reading to hear that, but I'm just the messenger here. It's what's best for you. It's literally what's best for you. And I know you wouldn't do anything to sabotage what's best for you. Then we have metamorphosis and mask. With mask, I do feel like this is going to be you having to hide your emotions and not show that this actually hurts you to separate from this person and to give them their space. It may be hard for you to do that, but there's a part of you that's going to have to really hide how you feel in order to process it, in order for you to move on, or something of that nature. May be possible for you to just feel like that you want to move on from this. Like, I think for you, it's going to help you get over them by not talking about them so much and just like acting like you don't care about them. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm just saying like that's what I feel you may do in order to get over them. So there will be a part of you that kind of keeps a lot of things to yourself that you wanted to tell them, and you're just starting to think that it's maybe best left unsaid. They don't need to know everything. But I kind of feel with this mask that it may bother you later. So if there's something you want to get off your chest to them, and if you can, if you're able to, just get it off your chest because you don't want it to linger and leave residue over time. And then with metamorphosis, your soul is ready for this metamorphosis. You're ready to do something of a higher vibration and to transmute, to leave this sort of lower vibration of the ego that wants to be with someone, that wants a partner. And you're going to transmute that now with metamorphosis. And you're becoming more understanding of that, more aware that this is what you need to do. Maybe you were resisting it in the past because you weren't ready for that. You weren't ready to let them go. But now with the metamorphosis and the balancing the scales, you know it's your time and you're excited for it because you know it's what's best for you. It's going to bring you that abundance and that love that you need within yourself to be accepting of everything around you, to surrender fully to your cause here and to just trust in the divine and let it guide you where it's trying to guide you. And you know that a part of you is going to have to die in order for that new version of you to come forward. And that's why I did feel that with the spring. You know, it's like the cocoon transforming into the butterfly. Like that's what you guys are going through together, on different timelines though, not at the same time per se, but definitely that was the intention of this connection. All right, so that's what we have for the oracles here. Let's go ahead and start getting into the tarot. I'm going to do the usual. I'm going to see what the blockages are between the both of you, how you're both feeling, and at the very end, what you want out of this. So let's start with their energy. Their challenge right now is the 9 of Cups. Your challenge is the Knight of Cups. 9 of Cups, 9 of Cups. See, there's that mirroring energy that I'm feeling. Their emotions is the Fool. Oh. Your emotions is the Knight of Swords. Yeah, there's that sword. Is she holding a sword? No, she's not. Oh, she is. There it is. Every time I see a sword, I always feel like it's a truth that wants to be spoken, or it's a form of cutting something out of your life that's not serving you anymore. What are the desires for these individuals? Their desires, the 3 of Swords. Yeah, it's gonna hurt them. It's gonna hurt them to see you go and to separate, but again, it's what's best. I feel like there's something of their past that doesn't let them embrace this connection fully. Your desires is the Two of Swords. All right, bottom of the deck is the Magician. So you could be dealing with a Gemini or Virgo, or have that in your chart. We also have the Fool, which is your energy, Aries energy. And I think that's all for the Arcanas, but we also have water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, so with this Magician here, I'm trying to see if this is their energy or yours. I feel like it's their energy. I feel like this is someone who is very creative, quirky, speaks their mind. They have a lot going for themselves. They could be, you know, like a jack of all trades, someone who's like really good at a lot of things. And if this isn't them, then it's you. But I feel like you guys were attracted to each other because of the intellect that you guys share. You guys could have bonded over talking about uh, specific topics, things of that nature. You guys could have gone on tangents a lot of the time about talking about random stuff that other people might think is weird. I feel like there is a very strong intellectual attraction between the both of you. It's like you guys really knew how to kind of finish each other's sentences. I feel like you guys just knew what the other person was thinking without even saying it. I feel like I'm getting like a very giggly energy, so you guys could have joked around together a lot. And I feel like that may be what you're going to miss the most about them is their humor, their lightheartedness, how easygoing they were, how much fun they were. And I think that's what attracted you the most about them, and vice versa, you to them. So that could have been what was the hardest thing to let go. Was this, it's like almost letting go of your best friend, right? It's like you guys were friends more than anything else, so it's hard to say goodbye to someone that made you really happy, made you very giggly, made you laugh. I think laughing is such a intimate thing you can share with someone, because to laugh means to bring your guard down, to feel comfortable around another person. So I feel like you guys had that intimacy of laughter that you guys could share together. You guys like had inside jokes, things like that. So I think that may be the hardest thing to let go of this connection, is like letting go of a friend. You know, people always say that friendship heartbreaks are even harder than love, and I do agree with that. And I feel like you're losing a friend. Not only are you losing a lover or someone that you are romantically attracted to, but you also feel like you're losing a friend. All right, so this person's challenge is the Nine of Cups. So I feel like they don't really know what they want right now. Again, because they're living in fear, right? So I feel like they know they want you. They know this is a wish come true for them. However, they're not in a place, in a vibration to accept this. They may have felt like they manifested you at the wrong time. We also have the Magician, which is obviously, of course, about manifestation. So you guys could have manifested each other in some aspects. So that may be another reason why it's hard to let go. It's because you guys are everything you would want in a partner, but it's just the wrong timing. I feel it's like, be careful what you wish for, because you don't know when you're gonna get it. You don't know when um, it's gonna come, and if you'll be ready when it's here. You know, sometimes when you manifest something, it comes quicker than you'd expect, and it throws you off a little bit. So I feel like that's what this person is going through right now. It's like they don't really know what they want, because it may be here already in their life, and they don't know what to do with it. So I do feel like they're conflicted with their wishes and their dreams right now. I just feel like they keep saying, I want this, it's just not the right time. But there's no such thing as the wrong time and the right time, right? Everything is happening when it needs to happen. So I think really this person's lesson right now is learning how to let go and trust. Because if it can't happen right now, then they need to have trust and faith that it'll happen when it's the right time. If it's not the right time right now, then there's a bit of surrendering that this person needs to do in order to be okay with that. Let me pull out their cards here so I can see them. Yeah, and their fear doesn't allow them to accept this wish that they manifested, because they're just not ready for it. Yeah. It's like you manifested what you wanted, but you're not in the vibration to accept it, so it's difficult for them. They know they have a lot of purging to do in order to make room for what they manifested, but right now they're too blocked to make room for it. It's going to be too hard for them to accept it because there's going to be insecurities, fears, things of that nature that they'll end up sabotaging the relationship because, again, they're not ready for it. So I think, if anything, you'll be saving each other's time by not pursuing this in such a way because it'll eventually get sabotaged just with their energy alone. This is an energy that you don't want to be in a relationship with someone who is in this vibration because they're going to do things that is best for themselves. And it's almost a selfish energy that I'm getting also with the Nine of Cups, because as a challenge at least, because they're going to do what is best for them and it may hurt you. And that's where that pain comes in these connections, because ultimately they freak out and run away and it hurts you in the process. So that's what they're doing in the free will. It's like they're only watching out for themselves right now, what's best for them, what's comfortable to them, and it's at the expense of you in a sense. So again, if they do anything that hurts you, don't take it personally. They're just not in that vibration to accept a beautiful connection. And with this 5D, it's gonna linger. This emotion that you feel for this person will linger. This connection will linger. It won't go away just because you stop talking to each other. It won't go away. You might still see them in dreams, in the dream state, and things of that nature. So it's always going to be there. It's always going to be hard to really move on from them because they're always going to be energetically attracted to you in some sense, connected to you in some sense. Okay, so your challenge is the Knight of Cups. So like I said, you guys could be mirroring each other in that sense. I feel like you're both trying to hide your emotions and block how you feel. They're doing it out of fear. You're doing it out of trying to move on from them, kind of just not letting them know how much you really care about them. You think that that is best because if you were to express that truth to them, you might think that you're getting in too deep, or that maybe they're better off not knowing, or you're better off not revealing that part to yourself. So with this Knight of Cups is your challenge. I feel like you are holding back from telling them that you love them, that you care for them. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to be honest about that. If that's what you're feeling, you should definitely tell them, especially if it's gonna bother you later on, like I was mentioning in the beginning, because I feel like that's why you're wearing this mask, because you're hiding how you feel, because you may be thinking that's what they're doing, right? Again, you guys are mirroring each other in that sense. So if they're masking their feelings, you're going to do the same because you think that's what you should be doing. But with this Knight of Cups, I feel like you just want to tell them how much you care for them, and you can tell them in your goodbye note or goodbye letter, however you guys may end things. You can always be honest with them about how you feel. It might actually help them know that someone out there does care for them and that they shouldn't fear love, right? Because I think if you don't tell them how you feel, even if you don't hear it back from them, it's going to bother you. You're going to think, like, I should have told them. I think they needed to hear that someone cares for them. So if that's what you're feeling in your heart, don't hold back from saying it. All right. Okay, how are we already at 25 minutes? Okay, so how they're feeling is the Fool. Yeah, with this Fool, they're definitely acting a fool in a sense. I'm being really drawn to this Spanish translation, El Loco. So I feel like once this cycle ends with you, they're going to kind of go on their own adventure, which will be good for them. I think they're going to be in this sort of naivety, innocence that is going to be good for them, because the Fool doesn't fear. The Fool doesn't have any fears about taking risks, about taking action. They just go for it. That's why it's called a leap of faith for a reason, because you don't know what may happen. But the Fool does not have any fears. So I feel like this person ultimately wants to be in this vibration of taking a risk and not caring so much, right? And I feel like they're doing that. I feel like this new chapter for them is going to be a way for them to really activate that part of themselves. Okay, because right now in this fear-based energy, it's blocked. They're scared, they're not moving, they're stagnant. So there's a part of them that once you guys close out this chapter, they're going to start to get into that vibration of just taking a leap of faith in whatever that means for them, whether it's like literally taking a trip somewhere or just doing something different in their life that is going to benefit them to open up their energy centers. Because right now I just feel a lot of blockages in this person. So with this Fool here, I feel like they're going to start a new chapter and do something they've never done before. Live differently. And it's going to be because of this connection. Like, this connection inspired them to start living out their truth. And like I said, the Fool is your energy. This is Aries energy. So I feel like um, you inspired them to do that. If they see you living your life and living carefree, and maybe they used to be nervous by that behavior, I feel like they were inspired by that. And now they're taking that example and using it in this new chapter of their life. So don't ever feel like this connection was a waste, that you wasted your time, because you didn't. You both taught each other something that you needed to learn so that you could take that piece of information into this new path, right? Because remember, you guys are connected in the 5D. So you and your higher selves have this contract that you're going to come into this lifetime and teach each other something. And once you do, you'll go your separate ways, and that's what a higher level of understanding is required, because sometimes we don't understand why people leave our lives, and it's because they already planted that seed that needed to be planted. So I do feel with the Fool, you inspired them to start living their truth, to just go for it, not worry so much. I feel like they're a warrior, like they worry a lot, but you showed them to not care so much. I think you definitely have a I don't give an F attitude, and they adopted that from you. Okay, so, and they're also going to miss that part of you. Like, they're going to miss how you just speak your mind and you don't take BS from anyone. Okay, how you're feeling is the Knight of Swords. So this is honest communication, this is taking action, and there's that sword again. So I do feel like you're cutting this person off. You may be a little bit confused by it, you may be a little bit uncertain, or what's the word I'm looking for? Apprehensive about it. Like, you may be unsure if this is what you should do, but ultimately you know that you should. So I feel like this is you just calling it quits, just saying, you know what, this is the end. It's not going anywhere, and the reason it's not going anywhere is because you guys have a different plan than what you expected. It's never what you expect, I'll tell you that. I think as humans, what we expect, the universe ends up sending the opposite of what we expect. So I feel like with the Knight of Swords, you're letting go of your expectations and you're just really taking action and moving forward and speaking your truths. So I feel with the Knight of Swords, you are going to have a conversation with them, but I don't think you're going to tell them how you feel. Because the Knight of Cups would have been like you telling them how you really feel. But with the Knight of Swords, I feel like you may even be a little bit mean in your message or something. Like, you may say something that you hope gets through to them. Like, you're going to deliver some truth that may offend them, but they're going to need to hear it. And I think you waited until this last moment to share that with them. So, yeah, you might want to balance a little bit of that truth with some love, because I think you want to leave an impression with this person that you always wanted to come forward with love. I think if you do things out of spite or resentment, you'll just regret it later. Because I think in the spur of the moment, you're gonna want to say something that might hurt them, because it's the truth. I mean, the truth hurts, right? But I think later down the road, you might think like, oh, I was too mean to them. I should have said something nice. So just be careful with that if you do feel like you're gonna have some type of truth towards them that may offend them. All right, so your desire for this connection is the Three of Swords. Sorry, their desire for the connection is the Three of Swords. So this is going to hurt them. Believe it or not, it's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt you too, of course, but with the Three of Swords, I feel like all this person knows is pain. and sadness and heartbreak. So they have a lot of healing to do, a lot of purging to do. And that's why it's not the right time for you guys. Because if you guys were to get in a relationship in this energy, there would just be so many issues, so many insecurities, and things that you wouldn't want to deal with ultimately. And that would probably end with a breakup and hating each other, right? So at least now you're going to avoid all of that. You're going to prevent all of that. You're going to end things when it's the right time, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt like hell, but it is gonna be what's necessary right now. So just know that they'll miss you. They'll be hurt by this for a very long time, and I know that's not probably what you want to hear, because I don't think you would ever wish heartbreak on a person for such a long time. But I do feel like they're gonna be really, really sad about the separation, and they also know that this is what's best because they're not ready. So it's like, ripping the band-aid off, biting the bullet for this person to end things, but they ultimately know that it's what's best, but it's going to hurt. Okay, so your desire for the connection is the Two of Swords. So this is where you're conflicted about the situation. It's like you want to let them go, but at the same time you don't. This is you also conflicting or feeling conflicted about what you want to share with them. Because with this Knight of Cups, you're thinking of saying an emotional truth with them. With the Knight of Swords, it's just like a harsh truth almost, but what needs to be said at the same time. So I feel like you're caught between those two energies, and you're deciding what you should do. Should I, give a balanced conversation of both emotion and logic, or should I just be strictly logical here? So I feel like this is you trying to decide how to end things. And this is you also feeling uncertain in this connection and not wanting to feel uncertain anymore. It's like, you were never really sure where this connection was going to go. So now you're finally going to know that if it's over, it's over. You won't be wondering so much anymore. So you'll be free of that energy, of that confusion, because whenever a connection is confusing, that's already a red flag. So I think you're aware of that, and you're just wanting to put this behind you so you can be free of that ambiguous energy, because it's holding you back in a sense, okay? Like you want to be free from that, is what I'm sensing here. Let's see what else. Here we had balancing scales, mask, signs, and conclusion. Yeah. So within conclusion, it's over though. It's over, and that's what's best. You both are on the same page, right? Again, with the mirroring energy, you're both feeling the same thing. All right, so that's what I have for you guys with the tarot. Let's finish this up and see what this person would like to say to you, and then I'll get the final message of love here. What would this person like to say to Aries? I knew exactly what I was doing. I love you unconditionally. I am becoming a better person. See, you do inspire them. You inspire each other, of course. So see, I knew exactly what I was doing. They knew what they were doing when they pushed you away, when they rejected you. Like, they knew it was all a defense mechanism. They were protecting themselves, but they love you. See, I love you unconditionally. Even though they didn't show it, it didn't manifest into that, they still love you very much. You both love each other, okay? Again, with the 5D, that is unconditional love. This is coming from their higher self, because you guys know what you came here on earth to do together and teach each other. So there's always going to be that love. When, like I mentioned, like, it doesn't matter how much time passes, if you guys don't talk to each other for years, that love will always be there. You'll always be connected. And then we have, I don't react when people mention you. See, this is the mask that I felt was being worn. This could be your energy. Like, when people mention your name, it's like you don't, or sorry, when people mention their name, you're just not going to react, because it's your way of showing people that you don't care about them. They may do the exact same thing when your name is brought up. All right. Let's see what messages of love we have for you guys. decision. It's time to decide about this relationship. Yeah, see, so with the Two of Swords is your desire. You're on the fence about it still. You could still be thinking, I'll wait around for them, I'll let them go. Spirit here is saying it's time to decide. It's time to decide if you're really gonna essentially waste your time and wait around for them, or just let them go and start living your truth. Addiction. And addiction is affecting this relationship. That could mean many things. That could be an addiction of each other, or just something in your personal lives that needs care, needs attention. Interference. An external party is intruding on this relationship. Ooh, I did not get 30 party energy, but there could have been another outside party that affected this relationship. And I'm going to tell you right now that that was for a reason. Because I think you guys weren't taking it upon yourselves to end this connection when it was very blatant that you should have. So I feel like the universe sent someone else to purposely interfere this connection so that you both would see that it's not the right time for you guys right now, because you would have just both been going through a cycle of challenges and troubles, and that's not what this was for. You guys learned what you needed to learn, and that's why it's time to go your separate ways. And this is not to mean that this is the last you'll see of this person or hear from them. I definitely feel like they'll eventually come back, but not in the way that you think, like come back into union and then live happily ever after, but in a way that they'll always be around, and you'll hear from them again for sure. And then at the bottom of the deck we have acceptance. Everything happens for a reason. Yeah, exactly. So if this connection was very confusing to you and you didn't understand why it was all happening the way it was, just know that that was a plan from the universe from the very beginning. Okay, so that is what I have for you, Aries. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell button so you receive notifications when I post again. Also, feel free to comment if this resonated. I'd love to hear your guys' stories. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in your next reading.